Don't even think about leaving that booth.
Wrong number, pal.
I'm aiming at you right now. Can you feel it? Stu.
Did you call me Stu? Who is this?
Someone who enjoys watching you. I have a .30 caliber bolt action 700 with a hands-hold tactical scope.
You mean like a rifle?
At this range, the exit wound ought to be about the size of a small tangerine.
You're bluffing.
There's only one way to find out.
Oh my God, you shot him.
Look at all of the people, Stu.
He's the shooter! I've been here! It wasn't me!
Another plot twist. Hey everybody, my name is Jason, and I'm going to tell you a film that is worthy today. A movie that you should probably go watch is definitely this movie called Phonebooth. Now, Phonebooth, I consider a hidden gem, just because most people haven't, I feel like, heard about it or even talked about the film, and yet I think it's definitely a film that everyone should watch. Phonebooth is like a product of its time. It came out in 2003, and the basic plot, you know, I'm just going to put it simple, not going to read off Wikipedia. It's basically Colin Farrell, the actor or whatever. He plays his publicist, and he's like very like scumbaggy for an agent. And you know, it's in New York or whatever. And he, you know, gets a phone call in the phone booth. He gets in the phone booth, and basically on the other line is a guy who has a sniper who's in like one of the buildings around in one of the windows, and he's basically like, "Brah, if you don't do what I tell you, you're gonna die." So it's pretty good, easy, good going setup. But it definitely gets better. And maybe the biggest reasons I'm telling you to watch this film are for the plot twists. I love plot twists, you know. And no, but it's just like, it's so good. Like the plot twists have me like, they just drive me crazy, like honestly. And there's multiple plot twists. And sometimes there's even a moment, like at least with my friend was saying, you don't even get enough time to handle the first plot twist and they already threw another plot twist at you. Normally that's just like bad storytelling because too many plot twists, too many, too quickly, might be too much, but I think it's just the amount. And when I say a product of its time, it's just when I look at the film, when it came out in 2003, I can already see why the film is what it is. For starters, this film, 2003, all right, this movie came out after The Matrix. Now you will see kind of the way they color grade it, very Matrix-esque. Even the opening, like, intro credits that they have, like the animation that they have dipping into it, very Matrix-esque. And I mean, now the way they go about the plot and the story, it's kind of Twilight Zone-y.
Verizon has scheduled this structure to be torn down and replaced with a kiosk as of 8 a.m. tomorrow. Hardly 2 blocks away, meet the man who used to be the final occupant of that booth.
Donnie, listen to me. I said I'd get you magazine coverage, and I'm getting you in the magazine.
The antagonist-protagonist deal that we got going on, there's always obviously a moral dilemma here, which is very Saw-esque, which it's funny because Saw came out like a year or two after this movie came out. Why would Saw go and copy this movie? I'm not saying that they did, but you know, why would they? Because I gotta tell you, you know, the whole idea of having a moral dilemma like this is kind of really nice. The moral dilemma here being that, spoiler alert, he has his wife and he's been cheating on her and just like, you were gonna die, or you have to basically or reveal that you cheated on your wife or you're gonna die. And that would be a simple answer, but you can tell he's really, you know, biding his time with this. He's not really sure, like, is this really Sniper? Is this just a really messed up thing? Can he talk his way out of it? I mean, he would lose everything, his job, his friends, his, like everything. He would lose everything by following his demands. End of spoiler alert. What would you do in that situation if you were to lose everything? I mean, most of us would just be like, yes, we're not gonna play around with a sniper or whatever. But that, I mean, that's just, there's more dilemma to it because you're trying to find a way out of it. We understand that this isn't just a normal person, this is a douchebag. You're gonna start seeing the connections between Saw and this. Douchebags being put into a moral dilemma of doing the right thing, you know, now in this crazy situation when they really could have done it in the first place. That's part of where I see the Saw. The second thing I see in Saw is the antagonist we have here, who I have to say is hilarious, is beautiful. The other reason you should watch this movie, 1 is the plot twist, 2 is the antagonist, the person on the phone, the sniper. Like, he's a mix of the, I don't know how you would put it, like, Joker-esque a little bit, but kind of like on a deeper. Definitely got a deeper tone, and he's not as funny. I mean, come on, the Joker, Mark Hamill up here, the sniper is like somewhere over here, obviously. But I mean, that's definitely reason number 2 why you should watch this movie. Reason number 3, Mr. Whitaker.
Okay, then you give him the Forrest Whitaker eye.
Well, that's pretty good.
Oh my god. I mean, it all comes down to a lot of the great performances. The performances are pretty solid, and the story itself does really well to try to plug any possible plot holes. So I would say that's maybe reason number 3 and 4. Because think about the situation. I mean, this would not play out the same today. Today, you could make up a bunch of things and just like, oh, they could have hacked it. Oh, they could have done this. But you got to realize this is 2003. They're in a phone booth, all right? You know, there are cell phones prevalent, but like they're nowhere near on that level of tech yet.
You shoot a gun here and there'll be pandemonium. All right, do you hear me? There'll be cops swarming all over this block.
You think so? Let's see. 1, 2. That won't help you. 3. Oh, Stu, look at everybody. Look at all of the people screaming, Stu. Here come the cops. Sniper on the roof, gunfire hit the deck.
It's such a big, grand city. No one would think kind of in the windows. And you might be thinking, yes, they would. Probably today. And the reason why is another reason why this movie is kind of awesome, because of the timing that it came out. The movie came out in 2003, and just a little while back, I'm gonna give you some facts. I'm gonna put it on this side or this side, or maybe both. Facts on both sides here. There was the Virginia sniper, which was a very real thing. I live in Virginia, and growing up, I was like very little. But even I remember, because it affected us in school a little bit. We weren't allowed to go outside for recess. For this exact reason, we had to close the windows and blinds in case there was a sniper, because there was people being sniped and no one knew where the bullets were coming from. And then lo and behold, it happens that it came from a car, but secretly with a hole in the trunk. Like, it was pretty elaborate, and people were really scared. This was such a serious issue. So the fact that this movie came out right after that, it really fit with the times for that reason. And that was probably why it was a huge box office success as well. Which is then weird to me that nobody really talks about this movie anymore. Is it just maybe because also the phone booth? There are no more phone booths around. I mean, to be real, like in a few years, if not already, there are gonna be kids who are gonna be like, what movie, phone booth? Like, what's a phone booth? Like, they have to search up what the actual device that is like the main point of the movie is. What is a phone booth? Oh, it's like this old thing where people used to make phone calls in, and there's like a movie all around it. And it's a good idea. The whole premise, I guess, when they were trying to greenlight this kind of movie, was the idea that this whole movie is going to take place in the phone booth. Now, for people who've watched it, you know, like not every single shot and scene is in the phone booth. But like the majority of what the plot all happens, and pretty much almost entirely happens in the phone booth, or like very closely around the phone booth. Another reason why is, I gotta call it out to Alfred, oh no, that's not his name, I'm sorry. Cockmaster P. This was actually an idea that he was working around, tweaking, kind of trying to think like, oh, it'd be a great idea to have movie all in a phone booth. That was his actual idea. Unfortunately, at the time, you know, back way long ago, he never went with this idea, simply because they couldn't think of a really good enough reason why anybody would be in a phone booth for that long. But obviously, after the Virginia shooter, they kind of hit it. That's probably why someone would stay in a phone booth for so long. And it kind of really works, the fact that there's so many witnesses around. You have the performances from the ladies, as I'll put it.
God damn it, man, you done made me hurt my dick hand.
Oh, I'm sure you're just as good with the other hand. Yeah, go away.
It's just great work all around. It's just a really great movie. I bring back the idea of Saw. I mean, again, I feel like it did have a lot of influence from Saw. It had a lot of influence from The Matrix. And that together really helped it make it a unique film. I know that sounded like they literally just copied both of those things, but you mix it around and you can come out with something that's really amazing. And I think that's what they did here. Like, they had The Matrix, they had Saw, and they had, if I had to think of another thing, I mean, with the neo-noir feel to it, mixing that all in, you came out with Phonebooth, a movie I recommend you watching just because it will keep you at the edge of your seat, wait for those plot twists, and it's like a fairly satisfying ending. I would say the ending was satisfying enough for me, and I definitely watch it again. You know, I wasn't even sure if this movie was gonna hold up because this was a movie I had watched like 10 years ago or whatever, and I was a little kid or whatever, and I just remember it being really cool and awesome, and then I rewatched with my friend, and it's like, oh, dude, it holds up. It holds up. That's like my number one thing when I'm rewatching old movies or something. Does it hold up? I think this film holds up. I think it's film worthy for what it is, and you should go watch it. Hidden gem, neo-noir, awesome performances, great plot twist. You should watch this film. This is film worthy. Watch it. Hey everybody, I just want to say thanks. Thanks for watching my video. If you have any other like video movie suggestions, I'm probably gonna try working around with some more hidden gem type movies, maybe get into more horror genre stuff. But anyway, thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Please, oh my god. Subscribe, like my videos, comment, let me know what you think in the description below. Do you like my shirt? Maybe you don't. Maybe you don't like corgis. Maybe you